Awesome.
You talked last week about finding consistency, and you said it's something that you all have to do day in and day out.
Yep.
Having the week that you all had and now winning this game, what do you think was different and what worked?
Yeah, I think it starts with practice, and how consistent we were in practice, the preparation. When we're actually between the white lines, and going out there, competing versus each other, and having these tough practices, and it builds the confidence for us to be able to go out here and have a game like we had today. The consistency and things like that, that becomes a thing when you can, you have a day like today and then you can come back and do it again and again and again. So it's something that we have to, work on and keep striving for every day in practice. And then obviously, we get out here in the game.
Jalen, on the flea flicker, when you're waiting for the return pitch from DeAndre, what's going through your mind? It took a little bit longer getting back to you.
Yeah, something we practice all week, and I underthrew Luther a couple times, and either missed it, and then just building the belief and confidence with the guys, and just communicating with them, and I told Luther you won't outrun me in the game, and just run. And they did a great job O-line. That's a flea flicker is a really long play, and so for them to be able to hold up and be able to allow DeAndre to toss the ball back to me, it kind of did a free throw kind of floater kind of thing, and after that just let it rip and let Luther go make a play.
Caleb, how do you, when there's a delay of the ball coming out like that, coming back to you from DeAndre, how do you get it out so quickly and be somewhat accurate on that?
Yeah, I think it's, I guess, God-given ability, to be able to get it out that fast. I don't know. And then, just a belief and confidence in Luther being down there. And, in those moments, you're kind of taught to kind of peek at the defense before you get the ball. So peeked that a few times while the ball was coming to me. And then, like I said, just throw it out there as far as I can and let Luther go make a play.
What did you see when you peeked? How well did it work?
It worked pretty well. The guys did a great job, wide receivers-wise. They did a great job, lawing the DBs and safeties asleep. And then after that, it's head down, run, and then just look up.
Caleb, what was it like being a part of that 19-play drive?
That was probably my longest drive I've maybe had, maybe 20, maybe my longest, but it was tiring. I was hoping that he would call a pass play so we could try and go score and end the drive, but we ended up running the ball well, getting that going, and then, obviously being able to find a strike right there and score. So it was awesome.
On the touchdown, you see him slip right away, or what's your view there?
So I ended up dropping 5-step drop on that, and eyes was down the middle for a little bit, and then when I peeked over after my first couple steps, ended up seeing number 7 slipping, and then Rome threw his hand up, did a great job with that, and we were just on the same page, just giving him the ball and let him go score.
What's the feeling like for you personally, 4 touchdowns and leading a victory?
Yeah, it's great. I think it just builds confidence within the whole team. Being able to see offense, defense, offense, and being able to score how many points we scored, and then defense being able to get us how many turnovers they had, and then and that's such an explosive offense, as y'all know. And then also just being able to on special teams stop their guy number 9. He's one of the most explosive players in that position, and so I think on all 3 phases, I think it builds confidence for us, builds confidence for us as a team, and as an organization to be able to go out here and win these games and feel confident about who we got on this field.
Caleb, you worked Saturday. That was the first time in your career.
Yep.
Walk away knowing that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All kudos to the big boys up front. They've been working their tail off, and I know we had 4 one of those other weeks last week, and the game got away from us. So you start having to throw the ball downfield and have to hold the ball a little bit longer than you want to. So being able to get the ball out fast, obviously. That plays a part, for me, being able to get the ball out, tire the defense out, run the ball well, and then, not be predictable in those situations. And then, from there, it's being able to just be able to go out there and execute the plays and deal.
So were you surprised at all, Caleb, that Ben decided to go for it on 4th down?
No. Nope.
And after, 2 weeks ago, you guys, the Vikings come back on you there. What did that drive do to kind of push down whatever sort of concerns may have stemmed from a couple weeks ago?
No concerns. That team that had that happen, or the team that came back against us. great team and things like that. But, this week there wasn't any concern. We got all the belief in the room and in all of our rooms and in this organization. And, I think it's us being able to focus on us and focus on what we need to be able to do out there and execute plays. That's it. All good.
How did it feel to have the game that you did going directly against Matt Eberflus as the opposing defensive play caller?
Yeah, I don't think it really necessarily matters who when you're able to have a game as effective as we were able to have on offense. It feels great, to be honest, whether it was Matt or it was any other defensive coordinator, Flo, or anybody else that we've played. Or anybody else that we're going to play. When you're able to go out and score a bunch of points in offense, it's fun. Obviously, because you put in so much hard work, and you want to be able to go out there and execute the plays that are called, and that's what happened today.
Dallas was driving when Tyreek Stevenson stripped that ball.
Yes.
What did that do there? Did that energize you guys?
Yeah. I mean, beginning the game, obviously we had a 3-and-out, and you don't want those to start the game when you get the ball first. And, for Tyreek to be able to, make a play like that, energize the team in all three phases. And so us being able to get the ball back right there and kind of start the scoring for us and start the momentum for us was important. And, happy for him to be able to have that moment and get us the ball back.
Are you guys seeing proof of concept, just with all the stuff, 2 minutes is so heavy in training camp. You guys have been really good at it, end of half situations. Long play drives, 12, 15 play drives that we saw in training camp. You would have a 19 play drive.
Yep.
Is that starting to see kind of why we practice those things, how good we can be at them in a game?
Yeah, I think we have so many guys that care. It's something that Coach Johnson and I talk about. We have so many guys that care about us as teammates, but also just us as winning. And so, like you were just talking about, we always felt that our hard work, our preparation, the long drive drill, the 2 minutes, the moments, the 4-minute, the situational, third downs, all of those things that, those are going to come. I know that we started off 0-2, but the belief was still there, the trust was still there that I talked about. And so it's just us being able to go out there and do it and execute it, and that's always what it comes down to.
Caleb, stick with me on this one. Have you ever been to the Wiener Circle?
I have not, but I've heard about this, the 4-touchdown thing. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, congrats, everybody. You got free hot dogs.
Caleb, how big of a deal was it for you guys to give DJ a touchdown?
Yeah, we want all of our guys to be able to get going and feel the juice, the energy, the momentum that that we want to have on offense. And so being able to get our guy DJ the ball and definitely score, I know that feels good for him and feels good for me. I was super excited for him. Gave him kind of a hug, like I was going to give him a nuggie, but. It's super exciting to be able to, spread the ball around. That's something I think I've prided myself on throughout my career, is being able to spread the ball around to my guys. And, it's not necessarily my job to be able to get them the ball in the sense of spreading around that much. Whoever's open, I got to deliver. But I think I've done a good job over my career being able to spread the ball around and, kind of keep all my, my wide receivers happy, because they do a good job out there blocking. And, you only get there's 70 plays, and those receivers may get 5, 6 targets. And so being able to have those moments and being able to have those guys scoring and keep that momentum going with those guys, and building the momentum and trust and all of those things. So it's important to be able to get all of our guys the ball, and happy for DJ.
What does it do for your offense to get Luther Burden going?
Yeah, as y'all know, as Luther has said, if you get the ball in his hands, it's a problem. So we always want to be able to get our guys the ball. And today, I think Luther showed up, big time for us. He's continuing to grow. We're excited for him and his growth. And I think being able to get him the ball builds a lot of confidence for him, a lot of trust between, us and the coaches and, myself as his QB. And we're going to keep growing, and he's going to be a big playmaker for us.
Caleb, did you see some of the things that specifically you've been working on with Ben materialize on the field today in terms of footwork, using your eyes to manipulate the defense, and then no pre-snap penalties today, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, no pre-snap penalties today, which is what we've been preaching. When we get when we start having penalties and things like that, that's when we start having our drives that die and die fast. And so I think being able to understand that as a team and understand the focus that we need and all the hard work that we put in throughout the week, just to have those moments of a maybe a mental lapse of pre-snap penalties and things like that. I think it's important for us to understand that and be able to understand that when we get going and we get that first down, that we're pretty tough to stop as an offense. And so understanding that, and we got to keep, like I said before, we got to keep being consistent with that and the pre-snap stuff. But all the stuff that's shown up. With all the hard work that we've been able to put in as an offense, and all the hard work that I've been putting in myself with the coaches after hours or whatever the case may be. It's nice to show up, and I think the guys are believing more within the coaches, believing more within themselves, and believing more within us. And I say that as the guys, but also me included.
You said you guys had a players only meeting on Wednesday. What came out of that? What did you guys benefit from that?
I think just being able to communicate with everybody and be on the same page and figure out how we want this to go. I've always said that the best teams are player led, and that's what we are. And we got like I said before, also during the summer, I believe that Ben has set the standard for us, and we have to execute this standard.
That moment given Ben the big deal in the locker room. What was that like for you?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, the trust and belief and the hard work and just all of it together. Been able to have that moment for him and his family, the organization, this historic organization. It's just a constant growth mindset that we're on. But to be able to have this moment for him and us. Is really important, and like I said, it's important for us as a team organization to be able to keep building this momentum and have this growth that we want to go on in this run that we want to go on. Awesome. The Bears.